iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, tonight to Stafford, Connecticut. It's the Stafford Raceway for the Six Rings Racing 100. Tonight, the checkered flag auto display SK Modified Series will hit the track once again here in the short track competition. 8 weeks have been counted into the books. Justin McDuff, the J-Mac, has won week 1. Dalton Williamson, Brian Hacker, Dalton Williamson, Michael Trevarthen, Sean Single, Dalton Williamson, and Dalton Williamson have all picked up wins. So as you can tell, the Dalton Williamson out of Tampa, Florida, well, he has picked up 4 championship wins this season. He comes into the night leading the points championship over the driver out of Massachusetts and Sean Single by 27 points. Brian Hacker, season 3 champion, is here tonight. He is sitting there third in the championship standings, coming in just 39 points out. Max Tarrant and Michael Trevarthen are tied for the 4th position in the overall championship standings. Rex Hoyle is 6th. Rob Higgins is 7th. Brian Robinson, the driver out of New York, is sitting there at 8th. Old Granny Hips Joshua Buckley is 9th. And the beefy motorsports driver from Ontario, Canada, Brandon Feeney, is 10th tonight coming into the championship standings. Will we have anybody notch their name, or will we have another repeat winner this season? 19 drivers are down on the grid as you see them starting to assemble here. Let's take you down to your starting lineup here tonight and see how they will all line up. Starting on the front row out of Canada, it's going to be the 42 of Max Terriol. He'll claim the Arts Barbershop Quick Clip Pole Award here tonight, 42 of Max Terriol. This outside, the driver that has picked up 4 wins, the championship leader, the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Starting back in P number 3 out of Huntley, Illinois, driving the number 11 Illinois Empire Racing Team entry, this is Brian Hacker. The Higgins Hill Racing from just down the road out of Ayer, Massachusetts, driving car number 40, Rob Higgins, will go from the 4th position. Florida's native number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, racing for the Ref Esports Group, will go 5th. It's the Empire Racing Team, Arts Barbershop, Cerebral Palsy Foundation, number 20 of Justin McDuff. He'll go 6th. 7th will go to the driver out of Ontario, Canada, number 38 of Brandon Feeney. The old wily veteran, the 54 NC of Rex Hoyle, will roll off from the 8th position, while John Whitendorf drives car number 24 here tonight. He'll roll off 9th. 10th tonight here will go to the driver out of New York. It's Brian Robinson. Daniel Tobin Jr. in car number 94. The Commander is back here. He'll go 11th. Old Granny Hips Joshua Buckley will go here tonight from the 12th position. Rolling off into the 13th spot then tonight will be the driver out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Lernerville TV, number 27 of Johnny Bell. The Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, 14, Massachusetts. And Brian Bianchi will go from the 14th position here tonight. 15th will go to the Virginia driver, the RPM Motorsports, Mark Jenkins. It's the Canadian Bacon, number 45 of Tim Williams, going 16th, 17th to Bob Higgins. And the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 41. 18th will go to the driver out of Norman, Oklahoma, driving car number 19 of Travis Minto. And Dave Bush will round out our field here tonight as you see them all roll down the back straightaway. That's your starting lineup, brought to us by the Empire Racing Team starting lineup. So 19 cars out there onto the Speedway, race fans, as Max Terrell, Dalton Williamson will bring us down tonight to start this Six Rings Racing 100 here tonight at the Stafford Speedway. Green flag up into the air, put 100 laps on the board here, race fans. Let's go racing in Connecticut. Great start by the 42 of Max Terrell down to the bottom side of the Speedway. He'll lead him down to turn number 2. Sideways for the driver of that number 1. Brian Hacker just cut him a break. Hacker was all over the BK paints. Number 1 of Dalton Williamson as we ride on board with the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe onboard camera with Brian Hacker as they come down here. Complete lap number 1. It will be Max Terrell. 1 car to the outside, up out of the groove in turn number 1. That's the number 40. Rob Higgins up out of the groove, and now he has fallen back all the way to the 6th position. He has dropped 2 spots. Look at the outside, the Colony Tire and Service Center. Number 54, and C of Rex Hoyle. He has made the outside work. Somebody way out of shape. I believe that was the 14, Massachusetts, of Brian Bianchi. Driver that lives just a couple hours down the road here from the Speedway. He's following the Commander and Granny Hips right now. Joshua Buckley down to the inside in that blue number 13, the 94. That's the Commander of Daniel Tobin Jr. You see him to the outside making his 2nd start of the season. Good to see him back last week, and it's great to have him back here tonight. And Johnny Bell says, hey, thanks for showing up. Sideways off turn number 2, the Lernerville TV number 27. Got a little sideways that time. You see them now all funnel back into the single file formation except for one driver. That's Dave Bush, the rookie this season. Dave Bush, the driver out of Oregon. Made a handful of starts earlier this season. Sideways smoke out in front of him. It's the Lernerville TV number 27 of Johnny Bell has gone around. Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe number 14, Massachusetts. Also of Brian Bianchi has taken the spin to the infield. As it actually stays green flag racing. We thought the caution flag was going to come out, but Barney the flagman says, no, we're going to keep him rolling here tonight. So 2 drivers come together. We'll see if we can get the truck to make that replay here in just a couple of seconds. Battle for the race lead, though, still the 42 of Max Terrell. He won a couple seasons ago. Actually, he was Season 3's champion. Brian Hacker, as I'm being corrected by the stat guy back here, Johnny. Johnny says Brian Hacker actually won Season number 2. Max Terrell was Season number 3. And Dalton Williamson won Season number 4. So right now, inside the top 3, you have 3 previous champions here in the SK Modified Series. This is what happened, I'm being told, down in the corner. Let's take the look. Watch the 14 of Brian Bianchi. Watch the 27. Down into the corner. Looks like possibly Johnny Bell checked up just a little bit. And around those drivers went, and they got them pointed back into the right direction very quickly. So that's why we stayed under the green flag conditions here tonight. Back up front here, your leader, still Max Terrell. He is right now led every lap so far. We had to wait till he crossed the start-finish line there. So the storm from the north blowing in here into Canada while the sun is shining. Over 100 degrees down on the track temperature here tonight. As Max Terrell still continues to lead the youngster of Dalton Williamson, but dang, look how close he closes up on the back bumper. That was close there, race fans, as you could not have fit a piece of paper in there. As your race leaders go down the back straightaway, you notice that they are closing in on the number 14, Massachusetts there, of Brian Bianchi. All drivers right now have gone into single file here. 10 laps, 11 laps that time by in the books. Everybody trying to get some laps logged here tonight. Taking a look off the bar camera here with Brian Bianchi. You see the race leader back there, Max Terrell, being hounded by Dalton Williamson still. So your race leaders are going to work their way upon lap traffic here very shortly. come by that time, 13 laps. Lucky number 13 here tonight at the Stafford Speedway has gone into the books. Race leader still is going to be the 42 of Max Terra. He has not had the season that he had hoped for. He only has 3 top 5s all season long out of 8 races. Only 6 top 10s. Usually you're looking at about 8 top 10s already and about, call it maybe 6 top 5s. That's how consistent the driver from Canada is. But MK Medic number 42 always brings a hot piece once he shows up at the track and unloads. When they see the all-black number 42 hauler roll in, everybody takes a deep breath and goes, it's going to be a long night. That's the battle for the race lead that you are watching on the screen there. There's the 2 drivers as they work upon the 14 of Brian Bianchi. Bianchi got to take the Culpeppers Bakery 14 Massachusetts to the outside. He will allow the race leaders to roll the bottom side of the speedway. Brian Hacker is still sitting back here. He's just off about a half a second off the race leader right now, calling about 4 car lengths maybe that time as they went down into turn number 1. As everybody working down the back straightaway. Good race so far here tonight. Stafford, one of those tracks that always puts on a good show, no matter what kind of car you bring here. It could be the Grand National car, it could be the Super Late Model, or it could be these SK Modifieds. You see another driver working his way through traffic. That's the number 2, the BK Paints of Michael Trevarthen, number 2, the driver out of Florida. He is sitting there in the 4th position. He picked up 2 spots. And how did he pick up a spot here? Or, sorry, 1 spot. How did he pick up a spot here tonight? Well, that was from the number 40. Rob Higgins. There you see him right ahead of the 54 NC of Rex Hoyle. Hoyle sitting back there in the Colony Tire and Service Center, number 54 NC. Well, Higgins fell back to 6th on that initial start. And, well, he found a home and just is hanging out, riding along. Of course, Rex Hoyle, he's one of those drivers, the Wiley veterans, that really loves these small tracks that get super hot and super slick. Rex Hoyle is one of those drivers that can hold onto the tires for a long time. Of course, he's always come dressed to best, and that's with the Tuxedos by Ted on the bonnet of that car right there below the air cleaner. I'm telling you, I bet Rex Hoyle wears a Tuxedo by Ted's every day to work. Justin McDuff working underneath the number 27 of Johnny Bell, and he was sideways that time. Bell sliding back through the field. Remember, he was involved in that wreck with him and Brian Bianchi getting into it with each other down in corner number 1 and 2. Johnny Bell going to swing high once again. He'll take the Lernerville TV, number 27, up top. Next driver to come upon the lap traffic will be the number 24 of John Whitendorf. He is sitting back here. He's picked 1 spot up from Brandon Feeney here tonight. The 38 of Brandon Feeney, who has been working on a new car for this upcoming 2022 season up there in Ontario. Of course, has a new sponsor on board his iRacing machine here tonight. Death to Granny Hips back there. Of course, Joshua Buckley singing back in the day some death metal. And, of course, now Brandon Feeney has an obsession, not only with death metal, but he also has an obsession with old Granny Hips themselves. So, he'll work across the start-finish line, but back here at the race lead, still going to be Max Terriol. Caution lights coming onto the speedway as it looks like the 99 of Mark Jenkins, the driver out of Virginia, has parked it up against the fence line there in turn number 4. So a quarter of the way into the race, we pick up our first official caution flag here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway for Mark Jenkins and the Ultra Slim Fast City Chevrolet. So let's take a look back here and see what happened. Oh, 45 of Tim Williams. Sideways down there in the corner, and Jenkins goes down, gets on the apron. That car starts to slide. They make a little contact, and around goes the 99 of Mark Jenkins. Got down there on the flat, which what slid him up the speedway. You see the race leaders go by there, so that will put the 99 of Mark Jenkins, who we know brings fast equipment to the track every week, a little bit behind the 8 ball. Take a look from our drone camera here tonight. See the 99 go down, touch the apron with the left side tires, and that flat ground down there, that flat racing surface. You can race down there sometimes, but the 99 just did not quite get the bite on the left-hand side tires, and around he took that Slim Fast Chevrolet. Race leaders, though, all will stay out here under this caution flag. So it'll be Max Terrell, Dalton Williamson, Brian Hacker, Michael Trevarthen, and Justin McDuff. Race fans, we got to thank you all for tuning in here tonight to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You are watching the Six Rings Racing 100 for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series presented by Red Light Racing. And boy, what a show it's been so far here on the iRacing.com platform. Race fans, if you're interested in racing action from the iRacing.com platform, we have it 7 days a week here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We bring you the short track racing action that you see here tonight with the SK Modifieds all the way to the high banks of the Daytona International Speedway. And we sling a little dirt in between there all the way up and down and around the United States, as that's what we have here on the iRacing.com platform. There's a driver that likes to sling a little dirt occasionally. That's the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Of course, he comes into the night with 4 wins, and he has the championship lead over Sean Single. Well, the driver of that number 11 of the BK Paints Stables, who is second in the championship points, well, he is not here tonight. He is actually away on assignment. So that points championship lead for Dalton Williamson will continue to grow here tonight. Of course, Brian Hacker, Max Terrell, Michael Trevarthen, all there inside the top 5. They're all here in attendance, so we're going to have to see where Sean Single does fall. Of course, these drivers do all have one drop week, and what the drop week is, well, your lowest, your worst finish throughout the season will get eliminated. They take that away out of the points. They don't count it, and they kind of give everybody a level playing field. So as we come back into the restart zone here, Max Terrell, Dalton Williamson, Brian Hacker, and Michael Trevarthen. All drivers inside the top 5 in the championship standings, inside the top 4 as the green flag comes back out. We're racing once again here tonight at Stafford. Great start that time by the 42 of Max Terrell. Not such a good start to the outside for Dalton Williamson. Here comes the 11 Illinois, Brian Hacker, the driver out of Huntley, Illinois. Hacking up the bottom side of the speedway. One driver into the outside wall. That's the 45. That was Tim Williams. Hacker takes over the second position. Here comes J-Mac, Justin McDuff, the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, number 20. Not quite able to put the nose down there. So Dalton Williamson will get back down to the bottom side of the speedway. That'll leave now the 40. Rob Higgins back here battling for the 8th position. Remember, he fell back to running sick there on the initial start of the race, and now he has fallen all the way back to 8th. As there goes Rex Hoyle, there goes Whitendorf. They will both get by. Here comes that 37 NY. Driver with one of the most consecutive starts here with the SK Modified side of things. The driver out of New York, Brian Robinson, won't be able to complete the pass. Robinson will fall into 9th, giving Rob Higgins a break and getting him back down to the bottom side, running in 8th. There's that 38 machine, the driver out of Ontario, Canada once again, the Liquid Molly entry. That is the Beefy Motorsports, Brandon Feeney. Back there, he is running into the 16th position right now. 17 cars on the lead lap. Well, who is the final car on the lead lap? It is the driver out of Massachusetts, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 41 of Bob Higgins. Remember, just a year ago, Bob Higgins coming to the iRacing.com platform being a complete rookie. Never doing it again. All he ever did was go over to his son's house of Rob Higgins, who drives car number 40 here tonight. He was running up into the 8th position. He went over to his house, turned a couple laps on his iRacing rig, and, well, got a little bit of the racing bug, got a little bit of an itch. So he had to go out, get his own computer, get his own rig set up, and had to climb his way through the ranks here on iRacing. Of course, you got to carry a B license to get in here with the drivers of the SK Modified series. And Bob Higgins exactly sat down, grinded it out, got to the B class, and he's been here ever since. And he's had a lot of fun learning the tracks here on iRacing with some of these drivers that are a little bit faster maybe, but you can always tell that Higgins is here. He turns laps into the early morning time, East Coast, so, well, it may be prime time West Coast for those West Coasters, but Bob Higgins, it's almost time to wake up for him to go man the front desk at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, and he's still out there racing. Right now, Higgins is back there running into the 17th position as everybody is still following the number 42, that black 42, the MK Medic machine of Max Terrett around the speedway. He has about, call it a 3-car length gap over Brian Hacker. So as Hacker currently holds down that second position, Dalton Williamson is sitting third currently. Remember, he was hounding the back bumper of that number 42. Now Brian Hacker got around him on the restart. The inside lane seems to be the better place to restart these events at here tonight. Outside lane, I don't think we're going to see an outside lane really come in here tonight. We're probably going to be right down around the bottom as we close in 11 laps from halfway. The biggest mover so far here of the race is the driver out of Norman, Oklahoma, the F5 Black Rifle Coffee Company, number 19 of Travis Minto, the flyboy there out of the United States Air Force. Of course, the Minto family, both brothers in the Air Force. We thank you for your service here to the United States, allowing us to come out here and compete in the Checkered Flag on Display SK Modified Series here every Thursday night. Travis back there running into the 11th position. Started in 18th, up 7 spots, running 11th right now. The biggest faller through the field, well, that's the Beefy Motorsports entry. Brandon Feeney, we've touched on him a couple of times. Brand new paint scheme here, and of course his iconic Canadian flag number 38. Probably one of the most iconic numbers here that I've seen on iRacing. Of course, he has the Canadian flag draped inside that number 38. Bunch of Canadian drivers here tonight in attendance for the SK Modified race. One of them leading the race. Our Canadians right now as they run out here on the speedway. First for Max Terriot, the driver up north. Then Brandon Feeney back here in 15th. Tim Williams is running in the 16th position. That's a checkup on our resident Canadians here tonight at the Stafford Speedway and a 3-horse race for the race lead. You see him all nose to tail. Now maybe Hacker saved enough tire, and he says, now he's going to actually touch the apron. He'll get a little loose. Here comes the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Williamson will look to the inside down at 3. Can he have the run coming out of turn number 4? How hard does Hacker push that Narrative Coffee entry? Right to the back bumper of Williamson. Down the front straightaway they went that time. Real aggressive push by the 11 Illinois. That Carbon Junction machine maybe had a little bit of help. That's why he got up out of the groove. Now he'll show the nose to the number 1. Shows the nose down in turn number 3, but falls just in line there. Doesn't have the momentum built up. So here on lap number 47, it's now Terriot out front with Williamson there in second and Hacker running in P number 3. What does Dalton have left underneath the hood of that Chevrolet? Can he go up there and battle with the MK Medic Black 42 that's out front? He has led every lap here tonight. Closing in on halfway, will Max Terriot be tonight's halfway leader here at Stafford? The number 2 of Michael Trevarthen is back here. He is sandwiched between the New York native and the North Carolina driver. Of course, Michael Trevarthen always running the number 31 for the BK Paints Rev Esports team. And now as of recent with Joshua Buckley giving up car number 2, that number went into the free agent pile. And, well, Michael Trevarthen said, I like the number 2. So he picked it up. So now he's rebadged as the number 2 car. And since then, he has not quite had the same runs and the same luck that he had when he was driving car number 31. Sometimes drivers get accustomed and get used to those numbers, and it was comfortable when he looked down at his scoring pylon and saw number 31. Now with car number 2 on there, maybe he always thinks he's running around in second, but right now he's back there running in the 5th position. As he runs 5th, there was an exchange back here, and it was the 41, I believe. It was of Bob Higgins getting around the number 45, the Canadian bacon eater of Tim Williams, the driver of that Platinum RV BK Paints number 45. So now Tim Williams back to running 17th, put Bob Higgins up 1 spot from where he started here tonight. Higgins now running in the 16th position. Johnny Bell still 1 lap down. He is in that lucky dog spot being chased down by the 99 of Mark Jenkins. There you see him. Jenkins was the one that brought out the caution flag down in turn number 3 and 4 when he got looped around by getting down on the apron. And Johnny Bell, remember, he was wrapped up in the first, I believe it was first 11 laps. He went around with a little bit of help and has not been able to rebound. One driver that has rebounded, that's the number 14 Massachusetts, the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe entry. And Red Light Racing fans and family, I heard we're getting closer. We're getting closer to possibly getting these drivers of Red Light Racing to get a banquet together up there at the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe in Worcester, Massachusetts. Crossing our fingers. Crossing our fingers. I know all you Red Light racers would like to head over to Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. I heard they got some great blueberry muffins. Breakfast sandwiches like no other. Oh, sideways for Bianchi. He'll put it down into the grass. He gets it corralled and back underneath him. And oh, I believe that was the 38 of Brandon Feeney. And now the tires are hot on car number 14, Massachusetts. So Bianchi may have been taking a bite out of that blueberry muffin from the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, and which kind of threw him off guard. He has dropped a couple spots back there running 15th. He was wrapped up in that early wreck with Johnny Bell also. How about Granny Hips? Right ahead here. Granny Hips and the Brandon Feeney entry. Brandon Feeney is all over the back end of Granny Hips. He's going to turn Granny Hips. And the caution lights are going to come out. Well, it says death to Granny Hips on the back of the Brandon Feeney entry. And, well, he just said, I'll spin you right round like a wrecker. Granny Hips. So, Joshua Buckley going around bringing out the second caution flag here on the night. You watched it live. You saw exactly what happened. Maybe we can get our crew to go back and watch it from a different angle. Let's watch Joshua Buckley go for a little bit of a ride here once again. See the 38 right about there. Going to get the Nerf bar into the back left rear. Granny Hips gets it refired and repointed, and he will actually stay on the lead lap, so Joshua Buckley will not lose a lap here. But he will lose a bunch of track position and hurt the tires. Right on board with the checkered flag on display, onboard camera with Joshua Buckley. Had a little help there, but all as well as he'll get refired and he'll just tag what looks like could be the 12th position, as it won't be, because here comes Joshua Buckley to pit road here on lap number 60. He does have tires in his pit stall that he could put on car number 13 if he needed. We'll see if he does put tires on. Right side tires are going to go on there for Granny Hips. The Walker needs some new tennis balls. So he'll get those new tennis balls on the right-hand side, and then he will go back out there. You see Barney the flagman holding the yellow flag for the second time here this evening. Great race here tonight in the Six Rings Racing 100 from the Stafford Motor Speedway. You are watching the Checkered Flag on display SK Modified Series here for Red Light Racing, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. 60 laps have been completed, and we currently have, it looks like, 17 drivers on the lead lap here tonight. Your leader still Max Terrell. He has been able to lead every lap here this evening. Has a very fast number 2. Of course, he won the Arts Barbershop Quick Clip Pole Award by clipping off the fastest time in qualifying. And he has just set a blistering pace here tonight. Looks like the iRacing.com pace car lights do go off. One driver trying to come out of pit road. That's the 45 of Tim Williams. It does look like he'll beat the pace car, so he'll get to come back all the way around the speedway, and he'll tag the back of the field. He is being scored back into the 19th position here out of 19 cars being scored. So when we turn them loose here, we're going to have 62 laps completed. Coming back into the restart zone there, you see Barney has the green flag. It's back into the air, and we're going to race him down into turn number 1 here once again. Better start that time for the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. He'll have a better start, and a big bobble that time by J. Mack. Oh, and a big wiggle by your race leader. Max Terrell had a huge wiggle that time down there in turns number 2. That allows the number 1 to hang there for a little bit longer. Big crash, one of them, hard impact into the outside wall in turn number 4. Hard impact in turn number 4. as that's the checkered flag auto supply number 40 of Rob Higgins. There's the 99 also of Jenkins involved. There's Granny Hips involved in car number 2. See, the front Nerf bar is beat up on his car. So Jenkins, Buckley, Bell, and Higgins look like they may have all had a little bit of an issue down in the corner, number 4. Higgins trying to get the 40 back to pit road. He will. That was on board the number 13 there. That wasn't such a great show, but we saw that Buckley was involved in this. Oh, the 14 Massachusetts had a little handling problem going down into turn 3, and then he clips the 40, and man, hard impact there for Higgins into the outside wall. That broke some suspension on that car, and also take a look here and see if we can ride on board. You're riding on board with Mark Jenkins in car 99. Tried to stick the hole. The hole was there. Unfortunately, it closed up really quick. So that'll put Higgins and Jenkins on pit road. Johnny Bell also bringing the Lernerville TV number 27, the driver out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, making his second season here with the SK Modified Series. He'll a little bit of a rough go of it. It looks like he still has right side tires left down in his pit stall, so he'll take them here. You are allotted one tire change here, whether it's going to be all 4 or right sides and then left sides. It's your choice. You have one set, 4 tires all around. See if we get the one to go marker here this time. It looks like we're going to go around at least one more time. So race fans, are you in the Ayer, Massachusetts area? You are. Well, how about you head down to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, the SK Modified sponsor here. They're located on Park Street in Ayer, Massachusetts. Friendly, knowledgeable staff over at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply has exactly what you need to keep your car on the road and running strong. Remember, that's the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. While you're there, make sure you talk to Bob Higgins about you watching him here tonight on the iRacing.com platform. Thank him for his, well, we'll call it entertainment here on a Thursday night. Of course, Bob has picked up 4 spots here tonight. He's running back into the 13th position. He'll restart inside row. That's exactly where you want to restart here. So it'll be Max Tarrant, who has led every lap with Dalton Williamson to the outside. Brian Hacker, row number 2, with Justin McDuff in 4th. Michael Trevarthen is sitting there 5th. John Whitendorf is back there into the 6th position. 7th will go to Rex Hoyle. 8th will go to Robinson. Tobin Jr., slowly but surely, he has made his way into the 9th position here tonight. 10th will be Brian Bianchi. Right on board with the commander, Daniel Tobin Jr. into turn number 1. Close quarters racing there. You saw Travis Minto almost into the back bars there of car number 94. Tobin cracks into the top 10, and he's going forward here in the late stages of this one. Stacked up almost 3 wide back there. I believe that was the 45 of Tim Williams making a move. Now here comes the 19 of Minto down to the bottom side, trying to get around the 37 and wide, Brian Robinson. Robinson going to swing way high. He's going to diamond it off, cut the nose off of the car number 10 of Dave Bush. So he'll keep that spot. Whitendorf getting passed by the 54 NC of Rex Hoyle. That wily veteran there, showing the youngster how to get it done here around this speedway. Of course, Whitendorf also from up north there, not very far from the Stafford Speedway. Hoyle, though, has never seen the Stafford Motor Speedway except for right here, sim racing. Could be here. He knows it from here on iRacing. He knows it from NASCAR 03. As he's the oldest running sim racer here with Red Light here tonight. But how about the battle for the race lead? The number 1. Dalton Williamson all over the back end. The car number 42 of Max Terra. We got 26 to go. Next time by at the line here tonight in the Six Rings Racing 100. Sideways for the 42. Max Terra sideways. Here comes the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. He is going to pass while the tires are hot on car 42. Max up off the bottom side of the speedway. Oh, almost right into the quarter panel of the number 1 of Williamson. Here comes Hacker in the 11 Illinois. He smells blood. Hacker going to drift up down in corner number 1 and 2. Now it'll be side by side for the second position as Williamson led that lap. First time we've had a lead change all night long here. The 42 struggling as he's now to the outside. You can see him trying to correct with his hands. That time down to 3 and 4. That car is a handful right now. Did he burn the tires off? We know they're warm. Here comes the number 2. Now Michael Trevarthen down to the bottom side. Max going to squeeze him a little bit that time off turn number 2. Almost wheel-to-wheel contact down the back straightaway. This is now the battle for the 4th position. Max was out front for 74 laps of this event. The last 2, he has now fallen outside the top 2. He's trying to just hold on there to the 5th position. He has a little bit of a gap as he battles back to the outside of the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen down the back straightaway. 23 laps to go. This is the battle for the 4th and 5th position. Out front, Dalton Williamson has that spot with Brian Hacker there now in the 2nd position. Justin McDuff is sitting there in the 3rd spot. Now it's going to be Trevarthen taking full command of position number 4. Here comes Max Terra, sideways for the number 2. Contact, Max Terra going to the inside. His car out of control, down to the inside. Just going to barely brush the inside retaining wall, protecting the infield. As he'll see if he can bring the 42 back out onto the speedway as maybe some damage. It looks like he'll go to pit road. As your race leaders got 21 to go. That time by at the line, Dalton Williamson is the race leader as they work down into turn number 3. As they work through 3 and 4, it'll be just 20 laps to go here tonight for the rest of the field. As you see them all, look at the commander back there, the number 94. To the outside. Tobin sideways down in 1. He was letting it all hang out down there in turn number 1. Lost us a couple spots. Now he's under fire. Here comes the 10 of Busch. Look at Busch have the drive of his career here with the Red Light Racing SK Modified Series. Oh, he's going to get tapped. The 14 of Bianchi going to turn around the 10. The 10 of Dave Busch goes around off the nose of car number 14, Massachusetts. The driver out of Salem, Oregon. Dave Busch, whose mom was always faster than him at racing. Busch was having a career night here with just 19 laps to go. Gets turned around. That'll be the 4th caution flag here this evening. Let's take a look back here and see if we can get a good angle. There you see the 14 right behind him, and Nerf bar to Nerf bar. Look at Joshua Buckley. Just missed that wreck. Watch it again. See if we can slow it down here when they get into the corner. Right here, you're going to see the 14 come in. He drives a little bit lower into the corner. So all the flames out of the Emerald Towing. Number 10. And then right there, Joshua Buckley gets the left front onto the right rear quarter panel there of car 14, and the 13 Granny Hips goes spinning for a couple more tennis balls down to the inside. Busch doesn't hit anything, which is good for him, so he should be able to get back out there. Couple drivers down on pit road right now, and that was Higgins, Terrill, and Bianchi. Mark Jenkins looks like he has called it a night back on lap number 62, so the night for Jenkins is over, unfortunately. A little too soon for him. We got to thank Barney the Flagman there tonight. Really always able to hold that silk out there so straight with his arm. It seems like he is almost a robot and not even real down there, as he keeps these drivers in control at all the events here on the iRacing.com platform. Talking about being in control. He has won race fans. 4 times this season. He won the second race of the year back at the Langley Speedway, where we had a little bit of overtime needed for him to win that one. Then we went to the Myrtle Beach Speedway for race number 4 on the season. He won there 100 laps. New Smyrna Speedway, race number 7 of the season. Well, he won there. Last week, the Holy Shirts and Pants 100 from the Lanier National Speedway. Well, he won there too. So if he can hold off the number 11 Illinois and the number 20 of Justin McDuff and Brian Hacker, well, he may be able to pick up his 3rd straight win. Right now, Rev Esports, it looks like, is on a 5-win streak. Dalton Williamson, Michael Trevarth, and Sean Single, and Dalton back-to-back coming into the night. Will they keep the streak going? Or will one of the Empire Race Team drivers that are sitting there 2nd and 3rd take it away? Maybe the 504 Motorsports. Or 505 Motorsports driver right there, actually, of Rex Hoyle. Maybe he'll come up here and sneak away a win. 13 laps to go. Green flag back into the air as they race him to turn number 1. Hacker going to get a little bit of a break cut to him there. The 20 of McDuff going to allow his teammate down to the bottom side of the speedway. Big check up there. Michael Trevarth and almost into the back of the Colony Tire and Service Center. Number 54 NC. Rex Hoyle right there running in 4th. There's the F5 IPA, the Norman, Oklahoma, number 19 of Travis Minto down to the bottom side of the speedway. He'll take that F5 IPA entry. He'll insert it into the 7th position. Biggest mover, biggest shaker here tonight so far. With him shaking and moving through the field, that's going to put the 38 of Brandon Feeney in the Liquid Moly K1 Graphics 38, the driver out of Ontario, Canada, as we're trying to say it there. He's going to pick up that spot. Robinson stuck to the outside in car number 37. Will now find a way back down to the bottom side of the speedway. Right ahead of the 94, Daniel Tobin Jr. Jr. back there into the 10th position. Tim Williams has rebounded to run 11th here so far. Joshua Buckley right there in the 12th position. Johnny Bell in the 13th spot. Double high fives that time from the flagman for Dalton Williams, and he will see just 10 laps to go. This time by, he'll be whispered in his ear from a spotter. 9 more times, be calm. Hacker's behind you. He's using it up here tonight. Dalton Williamson, remember, is your championship leader coming into the evening. He had 27 points over Sean Single, 39 points over Brian Hacker. Yeah, he wants to win tonight's race to keep the streak alive, but when you're looking at the big picture of things, when you have an aggressive driver like Brian Hacker who wants to go back to victory lane, he knows his way to victory lane, but he's got to get through that number 1. Do you continue to race smart and race for the points? Hacker going to try and get a run this time off turn number 4. It's going to be blocked by the number 1. Nowhere to go for the 11 Illinois, the driver out of Huntley, Illinois. Brian Hacker, that Carbon Junction entry. Look at him try and diamond the corner off a little bit. Try to get a run off the corner. He'll pull right back to the Nerf bars of car number 1. This time, 6 to go. We close in. Getting down to the end of this one. Hacker looks like he's going to cool the tires here just a little bit. Try to make one final run at him in the final 5 laps. Because this time by, it's going to be Barney the flagman waving 5 fingers in the air. It'll be 5 more times around the Stafford Motor Speedway here. The final 5 trips to go. Hacker trying to use a little bit of the apron to help him out and turn that car to catch back up. 4 to go. Battle still for the race lead. Justin McDuff has fallen back a little bit, maybe 0.4 of a second back off the 11 Illinois of Brian Hacker. I don't know how big of a factor the number 20 of Justin McDuff will be here in the finish of this one, but it'll be 3 to go. Williamson that time, a little sideways off turn number 4, letting it all hang out, letting her eat. Down the back straightaway, everybody look calm, cool, and collective, trying to get the power down. You would think this late in a race with no tires up front for any of these drivers. They did not put tires on any of the top 5 cars. Top 6 cars actually have not been to pit road here tonight. So as the popsicle sticks come up, less than a mile of racing left here tonight. If they get back to the white flag here, the white flag will fly, and it will be presented here tonight by Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe. It's 1 lap to go. Hacker trying to close the gap down the back straightaway for the final time, but it doesn't look like it's going to be good enough. The final time through turns 3 and 4 to come pick this one up here tonight. Race fans, the driver out of Tampa, Florida, will win 3 in a row. Dalton Williamson going to victory lane. Brian Hacker, Justin McDuff, Rex Whale, John Weikendorf, Michael Trevorthan, Travis Minto picking up the most spots here tonight, going 7th on the finishing order. Brian Robinson in 8th, Brandon Feeney back there in 9th, and Daniel Tobin unofficially coming home in the 10th position. There's your winner here tonight, race fans, the driver out of the Rev Esports Group. He'll do some donuts here for us on the infield grass. He'll use that car up. He won't need that one no more. So as he burns them down, race fans, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back for our post-race show here at Stafford.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, welcome back here, race fans, to the Stafford Motor Speedway here in Stafford, Connecticut. It's the Six Rings Racing 100 for the Checkered Flag All-Display SK Modified Series, presented by Red Light Racing. These drivers just did 100 laps. 19 drivers did take the green, and it looks like 16 of them finished on the lead lap here tonight. Of course, the man that's got the hot shoe, let's go down and talk to him immediately because I know he wants to get out of here tonight and celebrate. Well, let's talk to the driver of the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Dalton, another win. That is 3 straight for you yourself. And if my math is right, I believe that's going to be 6 straight for the Rev Esports crew. You got this number 1 figured out, and that crew is doing good.
Yeah, man, I can't thank them enough, man, for all the work they've done this year, man. We've came a far way figuring shit out with the fixed sets. Excuse my language. I mean, I can't thank those guys enough, man. The amount of time they put in is ridiculous. I know we ran about 2,000 laps here this week, so I can't thank them guys enough.
I'd ask you what the tire bill is going to come out to that one, but I guess you just say you hit escape and you get a fresh set and away you go. But tell us about this run here tonight. You sat behind the 42 of Max Terra most of the night. He led the most laps, but you led the final 26 of this race. How did you think you were going to get around him?
To be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to be able to here because it was such a one-groove racetrack, but I finally got underneath them because I felt like I was rolling the center better than everybody out, you know, midway through the run. I felt like I had the best tires left because pretty much like I did last week, man, I just stayed around and saved tires and made my move there at the end, and it paid off.
It paid off, and it's going to pay off big here tonight because you came in as the championship leader, 27 points over Sean Single, and of course with your teammate Sean out on assignment here tonight, you're going to increase that points championship lead. How does it feel knowing there's 3 races left and you have about a 40-point lead?
Good, man. We're just going to keep clicking them off and keep trying to win. I mean, you know how I roll. I put in a lot of time, and, you know, I like to win.
Well, you got your 5th win here tonight. Who do you got to thank back in Tampa, Florida, that made this one all possible here tonight at Stafford?
First and foremost tonight, man, I got to thank my buddy Willie for coming up and spot for me tonight. Appreciate him for doing that. Other than that, you guys for broadcasting all Turn 3. Love all you guys. Empire Racing, Brian. Good run to Brian tonight, man. That was a lot of fun. McConey Setup Shop, Total Advantage, BK Paints, Rev Esports, Mike, and all the guys over there, and the fam for watching tonight. Other than that, not too much.
Not too much. Dalton Williamson here in Victory Lane. He'll celebrate this one. It's his 5th win of the season. 3rd consecutive win here with the SK Modifieds on Thursday night. Congratulations to Dalton. The driver that's going to come home one spot short looked like he had a real fast hot rod here tonight. Huntley, Illinois, Brian Hacker. Hacker, a great run for you. Pick up one spot here tonight, and you will also pick up, well, the second place in the points championship standings. A good night all around.
Yeah, it was a pretty good night. It was slick, loose everywhere, just trying to save our stuff. We those two took off at the beginning of the race like two bats out of hell, and I was just gonna cruise and let them wear their stuff out, and I think they did a little bit. I just made a mistake with about 5 to go and didn't have the laps to get back there, but I think we had enough at the end.
You think you had enough at the end? What did you need? About 5 more laps to catch that number 1 out front?
Yeah, I think so. 5 more laps would have been good, or a better driver to not make a mistake with 5 to go. I think we were right there, and I was just waiting. All I needed was a little slip up and 2 or 4 from Dalton. We were going to try to, give it a run for our money, but it was a good run. I love this track. I love when the tracks get greasy like this and you really have to use throttle control. That's where it's fun, not just hammer down. So I'd love it if we ran here every week.
Well, maybe we can figure that one out for you. Maybe we can transport you in here to run every week here at Stafford. But tonight, who made this all possible on this 11 Illinois?
Carbon Junction as always. Narrative Coffee, Pathfinder Chassis. Guys at Empire Racing Team, you for calling this. Buckley and the group for putting this thing on. Good win to Dalton, and good run for Justin. It's been a few weeks since he's been back in one of these things. Get a podium's pretty cool. So we'll take the 2-3 tonight, and we'll come back next week and see what we can do.
And there you hear it from the driver that finishes runner-up here tonight. Brian Hacker has himself a great run this season. 2 champion here in the SK Modified Series. He finishes in the 2nd spot. You heard him talk about the number 20. Well, that's the Cerebral Palsy Foundation number 20 of Justin McDuff. J-Mac, another great run here in your limited schedule this season on Thursday nights. Looks like that 20 team put a pretty good setup underneath that hot rod.
Yeah, thanks. I'm not really sure what I needed more. I think I need a little more short run speed, but I was able to kind of pick my way up through there with everything that kind of got hectic once Max got shuffled out. Was able to get up to 3rd, and I felt like I was sitting in a really good spot as we started to wind the laps down to that last yellow. I don't know if I just ran the tires too hard or what it was, but I definitely was a takeoff of those guys that last like 15-ish lap run we had there. But I'll definitely take a 3rd place finish in my first race here with the SKs in probably like 2 months, so pretty happy.
So a good run. Talk us through that final restart, though. The inside lane was the place to be all night long. You had Dalton restarting in front of you. You had your teammate, a Hacker, to the outside of row number 1, and then you sitting there in the catbird seat inside row number 2. And the 20 car all of a sudden just looks like it didn't take off.
Yeah, well, I think I mistimed it just a hair. I actually got into the back end of Dalton's car when the green came out there, and I checked up. And then with these cars, they're just so low horsepower. Once you check up, it's like you put the brakes on. So it definitely put me at a disadvantage, and then I kind of got bottled up a little bit there in 1 and 2, trying to hold off Rex, I think was to my outside, so let those guys get away a little bit. But all in all, I mean, it was a good night still.
Good night for you here, and next week we do head to the Iowa Speedway. Are you looking forward to taking these SKs to Iowa? Are we going to see you out there on the track?
I do love Iowa. I'm not sure if I'll be racing next week or not. It's going to depend on my life schedule, but I will see what happens. I've never actually raced the SK at Iowa, so that could be an interesting experience, but I do really enjoy Iowa and a lot of other cars, so we'll see.
Well, we hope to see you out there. We don't have any stats on Iowa ourselves, as we've never taken the SK Modifieds to the cornfields of Iowa, so look forward to hopefully seeing you next week. But before we let you go, who made this all possible back home in New York?
Yeah, well, first I got to thank the Cerebral Palsy Foundation and the Empire Racing Team. Great run to Brian, and congrats to Dalton. Thank the sponsor tonight. I think it was 10 rings or something like that, or 9 rings, whatever you said. But whoever it was, thank you for sponsoring the race. Thanks to Buckley for all he does for the league. It's a lot of fun. And thanks to you, Roger, for all you do in the broadcast. It's always a pleasure to get to speak with you.
There you hear it for the first time, I believe, this season. I'd have to double-check the notes, but Justin McDuff will finish 3rd here this evening here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Boy, what a race it was. Dalton Williamson, of course, coming home as your winner here tonight. A very hard-fought battle for that lead between him, Max Darrell, and Brian Hacker all evening long. So with Williamson winning here tonight, that goes 3 in a row for him, 6 in a row for the Rev Esports team. They have something figured out in these SK Modifieds. We're going to see next week, though, can anybody at the Iowa Speedway figure out what they have cooking underneath those Rev Esports machines. We only got 3 races left. We head to Iowa next week before we head to Martinsville on October the 7th. And, of course, October the 14th, we will finish things off in sunny California for the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe 100 at the Irwindale Speedway. Well, race fans, for everybody at the Six Rings Racing, everybody here with Checkered Flag Auto Supply, and, of course, Red Light Racing, we hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from Stafford, and we will see you in 7 days' time to compete with some more short track racing action with these SK Modified drivers.